Annotations are clickable overlays you can add to your video to help support your video's call to action or drive viewers to other videos or playlists that you have. Here's an example from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. You can see he adds a number of different types of annotations to either drive people to subscribe to his channel, discover playlists of different episodes, or link directly to a specific episode of his show. To start adding some annotations to videos, we're going to navigate to the Video Manager again within your Creator Studio. So I'll meet you over there. And you made it. So we're going to go ahead and click the Edit button next to the video that we want to add annotations to. I'll pause the video here, but once we're in, you'll see that we have our video that we're adding annotations to, and we have an annotations timeline below here. I already went and added an annotation previously, so I'm going to go get rid of that, so we're starting with a completely clean slate. So you can see here, as we move around the video, the timeline below moves along with us. So this is how we'll time out the different annotations we're going to have popping up or popping away on our video. So let's start by adding one. So let's say I want to add an annotation right around here, around this little gray box. Let's say I want to make that clickable. I'm going to go ahead and click Add Annotation. And to add something like that where I don't really need any additional visuals on it, I'm going to go ahead and add what's called a spotlight annotation. You can kind of difficult to see, but when I hover over it, you'll see here's my spotlight annotation outlined in white. I can just click and drag it and move it to where I want in the video. And I can just grab some of these little corners and drag them out to the size that I want them. So you can see here now it's sort of wrapping around that box. You might not also be able to see there's a little tiny text box as well. It doesn't help that all this is gray. But this is where we can put a little clickable or a little text that'll pop up when we hover over that hotspot. So I'm just going to say, let's say, click now, which is not what I would normally use, but I want to be able to see it. So we'll put that in white. You can see it there. I can move this around. We'll put it there. How about? I could change the text size of it, change that text color, and the color here, background color, is going to change the color of the outline of this particular hotspot. So I kind of like the white, or maybe I like that blue better. It's nice to see when I hover, I have that nice blue border. And the words click now. So now I can actually play around with the timing of this annotation. So right now it comes up right when this box is starting to come up, I believe. So I can kind of go back and, a little bit and hit play. And then that's right where the box is, and that's right where our annotation starts. So I can always then kind of scrub forward. And you can see that our annotation is a little bit shorter than we need it to be. So all I need to do is I can grab the right edge of this and drag it out, or I can also look at the time code. We're at 37 seconds. I could just type in 37 seconds at the end of this annotation. So it's really up to you. I'm going to drag it and drop it. Or no, I'm not, sorry. Not 37, it's at 14, as I can see here now. So now we have the annotation that displays over this box. But if we were to click on it, it wouldn't really do anything. So we need to add a link to this annotation. And to do that, we click on this little link checkbox. Now we can link to a number of different things with annotations, and any annotation can turn into a link as well. We can link to another video, which is pretty common. A playlist, link directly to your channel, your Google Plus page. You can make this a subscribe button. You can link to a crowdfunding project, your associated website, or any kind of like a merch platform, where like Teespring or something along those lines. So those are the things you can link out to. So let's say for this particular one, I'm going to have it linked to my channel page. So I'll click channel, and then it's going to ask me to enter in my channel name or link. Mine is VIDISEO, so that's pretty easy to enter in. And I'm going to open that up in a new window. You can also preview where this link goes. So if I click that, it'll open up the window and show me that, sure enough, that's where I want them to be. So that's just one annotation now that we have on our timeline that's already saved. I'm going to go ahead and apply the changes to make that annotation live. So just to give you a feel for what that is like now, I'm going to open up the video itself so we can see it as a viewer. So let's see here. Right when that box pops up, now you'll see that we have our little blue bar on it. And when I hover over it, we have our little click now. And when we click on it, it takes us right to our channel as expected. So that's the hotspot annotation. I start with that one because it really is my favorite one, and it has the highest click-through rate that I found. And you'll see that because it wraps around things that are already in your video, you can create some really cool interactive buttons and things on your videos using that hotspot or spotlight annotation. But just to be thorough, I'll show you some of the other annotations you can add onto your video. So let me go a little bit further down the video. And let's just say I want to add an annotation over here. I can also add a speech bubble, which you'll see looks like this. And you can change the color. This works very similarly, but the colors show up in different places, so I can make that a purple one to match my purple or pink promotion colors. You can change the color of the text to white, and let's say something like that. I can bump that up to a full 28. So as you can see, these kind of stand out a bit more, which is okay for getting people's attention, but you'll see these kind of speech bubbles or note annotations are just like a speech bubble, but just don't have the speech bubble look. So they're just missing that little triangle. These tend to get your attention pretty well, but they also have a pretty high what's called a close rate. So because they do pop up and can obstruct your video quite a bit, you'll see that you can X out of any of these annotations as a viewer. And these tend to get X'd out quite a bit just because they are pretty bold. And some of these I use very rarely, like the title annotation. So that's a brief rundown of some of the annotation types that you have. To get rid of an annotation, let's say I want to say goodbye to that hello, I just make sure that that annotation is selected on my timeline, and then you'll see a little garbage bin right there. I click that, the annotation is now in the trash. So I can just go ahead and save, which YouTube will automatically save for you as you go along. And then I'll hit apply changes. So now I just have my two annotations going on right now. Lastly, some other quick tips for placing annotations, especially if you're using these kind of speech bubbles or notes, or even if you're looking to put those hotspots in different areas in your video. You're going to want to avoid putting an annotation, way at the bottom or way at the top of your screen. And I'll show you why exactly. Now you can see our annotation, and you can see how I can still click on it, but it's pretty obscured by the timeline bar on the video itself. So if I try to click it, I might accidentally end up clicking the timeline, which is exactly what I did. So try to stay around the sides if you're going to be using a lot of those annotations because they're just easier to click on and they get out of your way. I tend to use annotations primarily for my video's end cards. I usually don't like to bother people while they're watching a video. I want them to watch and pay attention. I don't want to be bombarding them with all these different things to try to get them to go somewhere else. I already have their attention, so I might as well let them stay. But I do use annotations primarily at the end of my videos for my video end cards. So you'll see all my annotations are here right in a row, all the same time period and length. If I click on that, I'll show you exactly what I'm linking to here. So you can see here I have a bunch of different annotations linking out to a channel page, linking out to different videos, a fully functioning subscribe annotation. And these are all those spotlight annotations that we talked about at the beginning. So I find these to be the most useful because you can just overlay them on the video and they blend right in if you'd like, and they also have a really high click-through rate. So when it comes to annotations, I would say focus on these the most because you're going to get the most clicks with them.